Good afternoon. Oh, it's still good morning, rather. 11 a.m. on the 6th of September 2024. Part 2, because I went to show you my very ordinary, tiny bathroom. Was telling you how very basic I live and keeps me humble, does it not? Of 21 years I've lived in this house and housing commission with no hope of owning my own home ever again, which is why I got a bit obsessed with the idea of becoming a silversmith and getting my own business and hopefully being able to be financially sustaining and independent, get off the pension, get out of this poverty trap, which it is kind of a poverty trap. I was just telling you I got no intention of leaving though, because I'm preserving the land and the trees, but I guess if I had a better offer I probably would leave, but that would be very risk-taking on my part. This has been my home for 21 years and my only true home, my only true safe haven, if truth be known. So Mama T's not going anywhere for all her fantasies and dreams and manifestations and wishing to live in Byron Bay by the sea in a lovely home by the sea. Unless I won lotto, I'm trapped here in my little poverty trap and smallest violin, me, because I'm kind of contented here. I've been here so long now, and it's a nice little home, but it's very basic. The bathroom's very, very ordinary and basic, and I have opulent fantasies of having a nice big bathroom with a spa bath. Ooh, the frisson. And all these ideas that I can't make happen unless I won lotto or married an extremely wealthy man, and at my age, stage of life with all my issues, that's not going to happen either, darlings. Anyway, I would never be able to trust in it, so there is that. So I sit in my little cottage here and tell the contractors that I'm waiting out the government. They want me to die so they can sell off the land, which that's true. I get so many real estate agents constantly haranguing me, and I just tell them all to naff off. The last one I joked with, I said, come back in 10 years, and the young man said, why 10 years? I said, I'll be dead by then. Gave myself 10 years. I put a curse on myself, actually. And my psychiatrist said, no, that will not happen. You have another 30 years in you. I said, now you're pushing it. That's a bridge too far. I don't want to live to 89 like my father did, or 3 days shy of 89. That's an obscenity to live that long, especially given my circumstances, living in constant, pernicious, grinding poverty. No, I don't choose that for myself. But then I say these things, and at 59 and 4 months, almost 5 months, I've outlived my own expectations. Didn't expect to live this long, babies. So, I just live here quietly in my little house and keep breathing, keep loving who I love, and keep dancing my dance, and, keep enjoying each day. And time, as I said in the first video, is fluid and can even take you by surprise. Sometimes it has its own little flips and convergences. And by the gods, maybe I'm a time traveller, I don't know. It makes me wonder sometimes what my true nature is in this existence. It all feels a bit kind of odd at times. But anyway, we'll carry on with our video. I don't know what happened. Things blipped all over the place while we went to rinse the cloth, so I have to go back now. I was talking about feeling fatigued and dizzy, and I was saying how I seem to be getting a little bit better, but I may be kidding myself too. So I just have to ride that wave. And here I write, this morning I woke up with a mild headache. I often wake up with headaches now. This is back in 2020. I figure I've been exerting myself too much with the marble tabletops. Yeah, that'll do it, girlfriend. I work like a demon sometimes. I get obsessed with finishing off projects and it nearly kills me. I think some of you would have witnessed that yesterday. By the time I got to the fourth video, I was just channeling and spell casting and doing all sorts of fucking mad things. Even I thought, this is mad, Tanya. What are you doing? But it was a form of hypomania because I was so exhausted and had pushed myself too hard. You know, I need someone nurturing and loving to look after me. Oh, like that's going to happen. Babies, have to look after myself. My upper right arm still aches from last Monday's marathon effort. It took 3 days to recover. Then knitting happened, which I enjoyed, but that also wore me out. I didn't do much today, slept until 11, then had a shower and got ready for drumming circle. I came straight home, then did some work wiring up the fairy wings. Now another feeling of lightheadedness. It's starting to really piss me off as I am sick of struggling with varying degrees of poor health. Yes, I am. 4 years later, I could say the same thing again. Sick of struggling every single day. But today has been another good day, apart from Jenny and possibly Dave stalking me. I will need to rest more and try not to let those psychic fleas pester me. Tomorrow I have a dentist appointment at the QE2 hospital. Arg. They need to make another treatment plan as my back tooth has been hurting on and off for a week. Blech. Remind me why I incarnated in this beautiful magical planet again. It must have looked so pretty from the other dimensions. Also, I was never meant to get this old or frail, for fuck's sake. But someone upstairs keeps tweaking my timeline. Didn't I just say that before? Wow. And it makes no sense. No, it does not. Not at all. I am not even a good person. I am a miserable wretch, deserving of nothing, except the few scraps of joy I manifest in my small, unique, pathetic way. I must have been ill, because actually I'm a very good person, unless you try to harm me. Then I become your worst fucking nemesis and nightmare that can last for decades or for the rest of your life, depending on what level of evil you've perpetrated against me. Just ask David Davidson. But by and large, I'm a very good person. I'm very, very patient. I'm very loving. I'm very kind. But don't ever fuck with the Tanya or cross that line. Some of you know well how that goes. I can tell my lungs are starting to play up. Remember I said I had the earache? I've still got the earache. It's still kind of there. Started on Tuesday. But now I'm getting raspy in my lungs. But anyway, I shall overcome. I am healthy. Health is wealth. I am powerful. I am loving. I am determined. And I am healthy. Here I write, like when I used to have good sex and wild carefree nights of dancing. The sex went years ago when I realised I was losing my soul for ignoble, cuntish, disloyal men. The dancing finally ended with COVID and a spiteful narcissist. But I keep trying to find my tribe and my niche in life, like a dickhead, as after all, I know better. winky face. Here's a photo of one I took of myself with my little fairy that I was proud of. I must have completed it. That's why I was showing it off. The one I sent to my cousin Megan. Oh, I wrote, Megan Phillips, your little rascal is ready. Jan Attridge wrote, love that. Megan wrote, she's pretty, cousin. You worked hard on her. Beautiful art form. My art seems boring in comparison. Kiss naught, kiss naught. I love her and you, of course. I wrote back with a very interesting heart emoji, like Polish folk art. It's very pretty. That would look nice done as an enamel pendant or something, wouldn't it? I've got to learn how to do enamelling, people of Earth. That's the next journey I want to go on. My other cousin, Heather Skeen, wrote, such talent, Tanya. And I wrote, thanks, Heather, kiss. Update, Megan's dog destroyed it. Another of my gifts devalued. Grr. Well, you know, she probably left it on the table and the dog grabbed it because that's what dogs do. I'm not mad at you, Megan, but I am mad at all the other people that I gave fairies to that just went, huh, shit, or those people never got another thing from me again and I unfriended them. Don't fucking disrespect my gifts. Here we have it, sitting up on the couch beside Queen Titania, who I hadn't made the crown for her yet, by the way. Sitting up on the couch, just hanging around, being fairies. That's what fairies do, isn't it? Oh, my babies. I'd like to, when I get my Lilith fairy back, which will come back on Tuesday, I wouldn't mind hanging them from nylon fishing wire, hang them from the ceiling so that they're flying from the ceiling. I like that idea. It's clutter and it'll probably attract more dust, but I just like that idea. My inner child says, let the fairies fly, Mama T. Fairies must fly. Oh yes, Mama T should do some flying of her own. Whee! Yes, we should, babies. There are many ways to fly. Ooh, yes. No, we must not think about that. Mama T has never been fortunate in love. But anyway, another creative but happy day draws to a close. Oh, I've got all my beads in my hair. I wonder if I should put the beads in my hair for tonight's dance. Am I even going to make it for tonight's dance? I feel slightly better than I did yesterday, so maybe by tonight I'll be fine. But yes, I could put the beads in the hair, and then I've got the feathering down. I might do that. We'll see. It's a lot of work putting the flaming beads in my hair, though. It's a lot of work. Can I be bothered? But my club likes it when I come in full Viking with beads in my hair. They just look at me and nod, you know. They're lovely. They're lovely. They love my quirkiness. I found my tribe. They love me no matter how quirky and weird I can be. Ah, to you, the Brooklyn Standard, owners, managers, staff, other clientele, and my two favourite bands, Ramjet and Alter Egos, and all the other bands that haven't really supported that much because I always go on a Friday night, but I love you all, my darlings. my talented ones, my gifted ones. Well, I use mine in the kind of childlike pejorative sense, because you're not mine, you're your own people, you belong to yourselves. But you know, Mama T's, you're all my darlings and my babies. Some of you more than others, but never mind, we'll just let that one lie fallow for a while. Oh! Oh, you have to laugh. 11:11 p.m. My angel says, Lila Tov, time for the Tanya to go to bed. I am sleepy but satisfied with my small and varied achievements. Yes, I am. Even today. Very small, very varied. Haven't achieved anything really much. But they kept me busy and they got me through the COVID paradigm. Just say. 6th of September, Spirit just said, don't worry, you're being called into service. Okay? Thank you, Spirit. I hope it's good and not more fucking mission improbables and missions impossible that send me into various states of psychotic depression to the point that I want to die. No more of those, please. Okay, they said. Oh, they're teasing me, aren't they? They're teasing me mercilessly. All right, we carry on, babies. 6th of September 2019. Well, this is 5 years ago, babies. Well, Hunts is dead, Lottie is dead, my mother, father and Case dead. No doubt my paedophile godfather, Trevor Singh, is also dead. Lottie's birthday has often brought me luck. Yes, it has. So the day stretches ahead of me in spite of the sad news about Hunts. That's Hunts Peter, who is my half-sister's father, my mother's first husband. Interestingly, he was dying for the past 2 months. At the same time, I was struggling to recover from that god-awful surgery 10.5 weeks ago. I find that kind of strange kind of symbiotic connection, actually. He wasn't my father. He wasn't related to me by blood at all, but he was kind of fond of me as a child. He only met me a few times when we were in Germany, and then they came out to New Zealand and came to my marital home. I was newly married, and they were lovely to me, they really were, but he didn't know me that well. I mean, he only hung out with me a few times in my life. Anyway, only I fought hard to survive that night, the night of the 25th of June 2019, by the gods. Well, it was the night of the 25th, 26th of June. Anyway, only I fought hard to survive that night, even on seemingly that last breath that I was so gloriously embracing. Then the fight for survival the next day when the hospital tried to deny me pain relief. The bastards. Then the arduous weeks after that. But my gut is better now. I still am easily fatigued, but the pain is less frequent, except with the upset about my fish ponds in recent weeks, which caused my liver to hurt like fuck from the stress. Yes, the Australian government is actively trying to kill me. And I say that with a winky face, but I'm not paranoid. They really kicked me when I was very, very ill and in recovery. Kicked me when I was down. Not wise. But fuck it and fuck them. I don't have enough money to attend ecstatic dance tonight, but there are always other dances. I think it's on tonight too. Oh no, I think it was on last Friday. I missed it. Oh, anyway, it's $25 to get in, and it's for 2 hours. And if I do that, then I'm too tired to do my wild dance at night at the Brooklyn Standard. So it's kind of, I'm having to carefully pass out my energy and only focus on one thing. I can't do both. It's too much for me. It kills me. Literally kills me. But anyway. But there are always other dances. I will see how I feel later tonight. I can afford one drink at the casino and need to let my berserker hair down. The last of my former progenitors and influences on my evil mother, who in turn influenced me with her hate and envy and spite, is gone. Except for my half-sister Angela, of course. She will be the last of that line of evil. But dead sisters don't cry. I have nothing to be ashamed about. I live my life in joy and decency and integrity. I take pride in my own absurdist survival. Sometimes I even fucking thrive while staying alive. Here's to more thriving, babies. A whole lot more thriving. Am I right? I am a force to be reckoned with. A life force simmering away even in my end state complex PTSD femme fatale style. I chose life yet again, and life is good. Why is life good when you have a life like mine, which doesn't seem good at all? Because it's an ever manifesting potentiate. At any time in the space-time continuum, we are given miracles and opportunities and earth angels and people who can pluck us up out of our own morass of horror and trauma and despair and pirouette us back into another groove on another recording of our life review, building and building to a crescendo until eventually we have our beautiful life with our beautiful man and our beautiful, soulful, supporting, loving friends and our community and our tribe and our blessed, magical, amazing ones who have our back and our front and our sides, who treat us with honour and integrity, with kindness and sweetness, with admiration and with respect. And so it is, right now, babies, happening in a far out way. But I had to do the work. I hope you're doing your work, because if you're doing your work and I'm doing my work, then together we can make it happen. Instead of me being the sound of one hand clapping in a forest of fallen trees that nobody heard fall, by the way. That was a hellscape without end. By the gods. Today also marks my beloved Auntie Lottie's birthday. She was very loving and generous to my mother and I from the time Mum reconnected with her in 1973. She sent us German china, crystal and expensive clothes. My clothes so expensive that wearing them at school at St Kilda Primary, I was regularly bullied and beaten up. The children were envious. Of course, it wasn't just my style they were envious of. They sensed my primordial depression from suffering child sexual abuse in early childhood and hated me and my inner light. Still can be a problem to this day, people being envious of my light. A light I have fought to keep shining all my life, no matter what horror has been visited upon me, or us as a collective, by the way. But Auntie Lottie meant well. I don't know when she died, but she lived to old age. I was estranged to my mother when Lottie died, no doubt. I only met her in 1973 when I was 8, and remember her for her sparkling eyes, her kindness, her fucking scratchy couch which gave me a rash on the backs of my thighs. Awful couch that was. I don't know what material it was, but it was awful. Her obsession with my mother Gisela, and the time Lottie took me to her gymnasium or primary school, where she taught, and some joyous madness came over me, and I acted the class clown with all the kids a few years older than me, and we had a blast. I still remember that day to this day. It was wonderful. It was really wonderful. One of the few times in my career as a kid going to school where I was welcomed and included and even celebrated. It was just wonderful. Maybe that was Auntie Lottie's influence, because she would have told the children that she was bringing a little girl from New Zealand who was younger than they, and that I was a dear family friend, and she probably built me up to be some kind of, almost celebrity, because they treated me with such sweetness, those kids, and on that particular day, on that particular moment in time. It was astonishing. No one in German schools believed me when I said I came from New Zealand. We had to show them on the map of Earth. I meant on the atlas. Some thought I was an alien. Perhaps I was. Smiley face. I just received news from my evil half-sister's half-sister. Her half-sister's not evil. She's a wonderful woman. A twin. She's got another sister as well. Heidi, who's a wonderful woman. That their father, Hans Peter, died on the 2nd of September 2009. Both Heidi and Zani were looking after him for the last 2 months of his life and were with him when he passed. How fortunate for him that his twin daughters from his second marriage were there for him. Heidi lives in Sydney, so that was quite a commitment to her father to make, as he lived and died in Hamburg, Germany. He was almost 97, had a long life. I notice a lot of the people that went through World War II lived longer lives than we seem to do in our generation. And they went through terrible, terrible traumas with constant bombings and privation and starvation, and their generation were beaten within an inch of their lives, usually by their parents on a daily basis. Well, my grandmother did that to my mother. So there was so much trauma, and yet they lived long lives. It's astonishing. I guess what food they got was better quality, because it wasn't all toxified like our food is poisoned from germination to harvest, and then shipped out to us, and then kept in fridges for months on end, and all the goodness has gone out of it. My parents' generation had better food and better air quality, I guess. That must have been part of their longer lives. Still, it's astonishing. It truly is. My skin cancers are really itching the last few days. I wonder what that's about. Probably punching out new ones. Right in the frickin' scar tissue of the old one. Get away from me, you bastards. You shall not have me. Anyway, I'm not sure how to process it. I barely knew him. He was kind to me when my mother and I visited him in 1973. Again, when he and his third wife, Susie, visited us in New Zealand in 1985. He always looked upon me with great affection and had a memory of me walking their Dachshund dog wearing a red woolen coat in Germany when I was 8. He always mentioned that memory of me. I think he really liked me, primarily because I looked so much like my mother Gisela, God help us. And when we visited, it was a poignant reminder that I could have been his child if he had not totally fucked up by impregnating his 18-year-old daughter of his boss with the twins. Their mother threw herself in front of a train when they were 5 at the age of 23. It's dreadful, isn't it? Absolutely dreadful. He remained my mother's greatest love, I believe. Hard to tell really, as she was such an exploitive narcopath and loved manipulating men. But when Hans visited New Zealand in 1985, he and my mother both flirted with each other like teenagers. It was astonishing. Which was awkward for his wife, Susie, who seemed to just rise above it with great class and dignity. I was very impressed with her, actually. I would have taken him out, punched him out if he behaved like that with me. Seriously, it was really inappropriate. And caused embarrassment for his daughter, my half-sister Angela, and a measure of schadenfreude and confusion and delight for myself. Watching them all squirm, am I right? Oh, did they squirm? But it was astonishing. Witnessing my mother behave so girlishly with her first love was a tad astonishing, laughing my ass off, especially since I had heard throughout my entire childhood about what a monster and a bastard he was and how evil he'd been to her and how he'd damaged her and ruined her and Angela's life, and on she'd go and on she'd go. And yet when he appeared in New Zealand, it was as if they'd fallen in love with each other again for the very first time. It was bizarro. Her enemy. One does not behave with one's enemy like that. My mother had no boundaries or integrity, of course. You'd never see me behaving like that with David Davidson again for the rest of eternity, because I have guts and courage and integrity. But yet he, similar to my mother's modus operandi, still haunts me from time to time. Won't leave my energy completely, even though he's not welcome. And I tell him so. It's odd. Davidson would probably like to have me treat him like my mother treated Hans, flirting with him and frottering. No, when you crush the Tanya, she will never love you again. Not in any flirtatious, wondrous way, that's for sure. Anyway, to be frank, I had very, very few male role models or authentic father figures in my childhood, having been raised in abject depravity and cruelty. So I had this romantic idealization about Hans, that he was a good, kind father. At least his twin daughters adored him. Go in peace, Hans. You were the last of that generation of my personal abusers, and I salute you. He didn't abuse me, though. He didn't. I can't say that, but he was, the flying monkey of the queen of the damned. the chief abuser of them all. It all connects back to my mother. It really does. All of it. That's why I'm severely broken at times. On bad days, when I'm very ill, even in hospital when I had my hysterectomy, under the influence of all the anaesthetic, I was hallucinating that my mother was coming down the hall, coming to my, the ward, down the ward to visit me, and I was screaming to get her away from me. That's how broken I am with that woman. When I'm vulnerable and very ill and standing in the membrane between life and death, I still fear that creature coming anywhere near me. The woman who grew me inside her own womb. It's a frightening thought, is it not? The nurses teased me about it. I said, was I calling for her, was I? They said, no, you were convinced she was coming to see you and you were asking to keep her away from me. I said, if that bitch ever comes to see me, I hope you do keep her far away from me. But that was in 30th of October 2007, and Mum got put in the Alzheimer's ward August 2008, and I was in zero contact with her at that time. So it was a real irrational drug-fueled fear that old bitch could somehow come to get me, right? However, it wasn't completely irrational, because my mother was a powerful bitch and she could bilocate. She did it. She was doing it when we were clearing out her house. So I said to my daughter and my friend Jared, I said, well, there you go. I wasn't completely hallucinating when I feared my mother coming to me, as I was trying not to die after that horrendous surgery. Trying to recover from it anyway. Dear Goddess, my life. It's why I want joy and truest, deepest, authentic, nurturing, loving, passionate, romantic, devoted loves. Because what have I had in my life? Nothing but shit. It's why alter egos and Ramjet have witnessed me every weekend doing the wild mosh and flipping my hair wildly 360 degrees, letting all the ancient fucking traumas fly out of me and reverberate into other dimensions where they are locked carefully away so they can no longer cause me personally harm or harm to any other living mortal. Why do you think I was so angry and upset when you told me I wasn't allowed to do that anymore, to take away my agency? Because there's method in my madness. It's how I heal and protect myself and others, by the way. Cast out those fucking ancient ancestral curses and demons to the seventh echelon of hell, to remain trapped there for the rest of eternity, because they shall not stain me or drain me or stymie me evermore. Mama T has spoken. It's my turn now to live joyously and triumphantly and peacefully with great, great love in my life. It's my turn. It was my turn a decade ago, but I had invited yet another monster. So there is that. But I claim my beautiful life with my beautiful man and my tribe and my community and my true friends. I claim it. Had to let my kids go. Unkind people who don't have my back have to go. It's a regret, but I had to let it go. But I want my own family and my own lover man that loves me wholeheartedly and authentically and truly. I want that. So what do they do? Anyway, the dance will continue because it's good for me and I'm under doctor's orders. Yes, yes I am. I'm under doctor's orders and even my hairdresser's orders. Ooh, my psychiatrist got a bit miffed. I said, Doctor, I have many therapists. Only you are paid handsomely, you know, for his decades of knowledge and expertise by the Australian government. But I said, I have many therapists. My hairdresser says I have to go dancing. And he laughed. But he got a bit miffed. He said, but I am the only one. He is the only one. He is the only one with decades of expertise that has the final say. I'm the one in charge of your mental health, Tanya. Not a hairdresser, not a lover, and not a friend. And I looked at him. Of course, Doctor. To you, Brian. I submit only to your great wizardry and knowledge. I'm not being sarcastic either. He's the only man I will submit to. But sometimes, we've had occasion for him to realise that I was right. I'm just going to leave it at that because that stays within our therapeutic alliance. But he's the only man that I will allow to influence me in any meaningful way. Like the fucking CPAP mask he actually paid for because he was determined to keep me alive. My darling, my wonderful doctor. You're killing me slowly, but I know you're trying to keep me alive. I know that. That's why I'm submitting to it. Well, we will know. We're 2 months in. It's another 4 months to go. 4 to 10 months to go to know whether it's worked or not. Meanwhile, the dance will continue till I reach homeostasis. But I've been binging on bloody lollies lately. That's not good. I get hideously fat when I do that. I don't know why I'm doing it. I should be happy and joyous and I'm healing my mind, body and spirit. No, I'm sabotaging by binging on lollies. It's just bizarre. Bizarro. Anyway, what do you say, Charlie? She says, you're all right, Mama T. You'll reach homeostasis. You'll be healthy again. And you and I will be in the garden having fun. And we are loved, even if only by the gods. Yes, Charlie. Charlie's completely right. Don't ever argue with the Charlie. She's a wise one. Here she is. Where is she? Where are you? Ah, in the shadow. Tell the people, Charlie, say, don't worry about my Mama T. I look after Mama T now. I am now the new times 21 world leader. I've had to step into the breach left behind by the cats and Beauregard. I'm the boss now. Yes, she is. A very powerful, potent boss too. It's got a mean fucking bite if I piss her off. By the gods. Imagine being controlled by an overstuffed psychedelic budgerigar. It's embarrassing is what it is. She's blinking like this, like, I know what you're talking about, Mama. You're talking about me. I know, you don't like it when I call you an overstuffed psychedelic budgerigar, but it's kind of what you really are. Anyway. I'll repeat that last paragraph because I went on one of my little segue tangents. Sorry about that. I know, it's annoying. Go in peace, Hunts. You were the last of that generation of my personal abusers, and I salute you. Thank you for your kindness and unconditional, albeit fantastical, love towards me. I might look like Gisela, but I'm proud and happy to say that I will never be her. Although it's getting a bit scary in recent years that I've become more femme fatale like her. So I used to oppress that right down, but I'll never be like her. She was a horrible, horrible woman, and I can't perceive ever becoming like her. Not really, you know. Even though my femme fatale powers, see I mention it here, have increased with age. Look out, boys. And I am now expansive and out there and an ambivert. That means both an introvert and an extrovert, depending on my mood in the space-time continuum. Surviving my personal monsters taught me to be fearless and to fully embrace and engage with life, no matter what it throws at me. A gift of sorts. My friend Margaret Jakovac wrote, "Yes, I remember him when I visited you in Wellington. It seemed like a happy time, but I was just a fly-in from across the Tasman." And I replied, "We did have a happy time with him and Susie. Genuinely happy times were rare and precious in my family." Probably what contributed to my major depression, actually. Oh, they were awful. That's why I hate Christmas to this day. Can't bear it. I go underground every Christmas. Thankfully, I'm a Jew, so it's not really a conflict of interest, but still, ruined it for me, being raised by monsters. Me. I've been feeling very depressed since Saturday. He passed on Monday. Yet again, I was sensing someone's impending death, not realising what was going on. I was just feeling the depression and the kind of the darkness and the grief. I do that. I somatise ahead of time. It's quite astonishing. It's come up in my memories a few times. I was doing the same thing when my friend Auntie Sylvia died. I was really right off my head that day, wondering what the fuck was going on. And then the news came in the afternoon. I was like, now that makes sense. It's astonishing how I'm tuned in to people. It's like really astonishing at times. So I wonder if I was psychically picking up on his passing. I often do that. Usually if it's someone I really love, I feel unexpected joy though. But yes, the timing is interesting. I wonder if my grandmother Eva is meeting his spirit. He callously told her to get on with finishing the job on the morning he and Gisela left for work, when Eva, probably not for the only time, threatened suicide. This was on the morning of the 8th of March 1949. When they came home from work, he was walking back to the bus stop to return to his own place after walking Mum almost to the front door, right? When he heard Gisela's screams. She had found Eva slumped next to the gas stove. So, there will be an interesting meeting to sort out that fucked up karma, which interestingly he must have paid for rather horrifically, because then his second wife also suicided by throwing herself in front of a train, aged 23. So maybe he did pay that karma, but it was awful, really awful. Or maybe, I write, or maybe he paid that debt in losing his second wife, young wife, in such a horrific way. Mum seemed to bear no grudges towards him in 1985, which was startling given how she described his cruelty towards her so often. Perhaps with the getting of wisdom, she understood that she, too, had been cruel, and love as well. Eternal, or in my case, too often, infernal. But it is what it is. Whatever, insert typical Tanya shrug here. He's probably holding hands with Gisela right now, making subordinate kissy faces. Laughing my ass off. It's a chilling fucking thought to this day. Och doch Mensch, Tanya Kind. Just stop. A word from our sponsors. Okay. Blödsinn, allerlei, großer Wahnsinn. It's just all bollocks is what I'm saying in German. Ich bin frei. I am free. Translation. Oh my God, Tanya child, just stop. And I said, okay, madness, all kinds of nonsense, big craziness. I am free. Yes, I am. I'm free of those bastards. What year did I write that? 2019, I think it was. Yes. Interestingly, only 2 months after my, major near-death experience. So it's funny how all the little ribbons and bows, loose end connections, fraying, insanities from the ancestral bloodlines were all getting neatly packaged and tied up with a little bow so I could put them away and one day forget about them completely in preparation for my beautiful life. Am I right? Oh dear goddess, Charlie just shat on me from a great heat. Charlie, that wasn't nice what you just did to your mama. Is it in my hair? It'll be in my hair. I've just feckin' washed my hair and blow waved it so I can look glamorous tonight. Oh look, so much shit. It's all down my dress. Look at this. By the gods. The councilmen are here mowing, and my man, my lovely Muslim law mowing man's coming tomorrow morning to do my land. He was supposed to be here on Monday, so it's all happening in a far out way, am I right? It's funny how this Jewish girl has Muslim people working for her now. It's odd. It's an odd kind of synchronicity. But, I mean, I don't mind. As I said to my cleaning lady, I don't care what planet you come from, what colour you are, what country you come from, what religion you have. If you're coming to look after the Tanya Mama T, then I'm grateful. If you come in peace and you're working for me, you're doing a good job and you're not letting me down, then I'm grateful. She looked at me with great happiness then, probably afraid when she found out I was a Jew. Well, there is a history of our peoples fighting each other, crazy nonsensical wars over a tiny scrap of land that at the end of the day is dybbuk ridden with gin and some kind of fucking evil that has us fighting each other instead of living in peace and kindness and harmony. It is what it is. It's got a piece of paper in his hand, so he's mowing, but it looks like he's reading the piece of paper, but he's not. But just for a moment I laughed because he's got this big smile on his face with this piece of paper in front of him. Anyway, not my monkey, not my circus. I hope he's safely mowing that way, because by the gods, he's already done his job. Yes, he has. Those slashing machines are amazing. We need one for Sacred Space. If I ever inherit, I've run out of relatives. If I ever win a lot of money on the lotto, I'll buy one for Sacred Space. I miss having those big slashes that just go rah, 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 rah. Job's done in 10 minutes, am I right? Oh, the frisson, the excitement of it all. Anyway, where were we? Oh yes, flirted with each other like teenagers. The Schadenfreude, witnessing my mother so girlishly in love with was a stat astonishing. Yes, it was. Going up and so I don't know how that scrolled all the way back there. We've read all that. By the gods. Read all that. Right. Here we are. We're up to this. Hans, he was a very handsome man. He looked so Jewish, Hans Peter, that the Nazi regime researched his family history all the way back to the French Huguenots, which was around about the 1600s. They finally left him alone then. They were satisfied that he wasn't Jewish. So, but yeah, they were convinced. And ironically, when you look at a photo of my non-biological grandfather, Erich Meyer, he looks very Jewish. But was never, you know, the question was never came up whether he was Jewish or not. But you can, I think if they dug deep in his family line, they would have found somebody. But you know what? Be'ezrat Hashem, they didn't. He was also had served in World War One, but that didn't matter. If you were Jewish, if you were a war hero, you still got put in the concentration camps. This was the ignominy and the treachery of it all. No loyalty or gratitude to anyone, no matter what status you had or whether you were a war hero or what have you, was just evil beyond belief. Anyway. Hans with Zani, November 2018. He was 96. There he is again. Did you poo on me again? Because you did, you little basket. It's all down my top now. Now I have to get changed again. Look at me, covered in your shit, Charlie. By the gods. How much can one little birdie do, poopy kids? It's too much. Stop it. What can I give her to stop her shitting? I'm thinking maybe slippery elm or something. By the gods. I'm going to bind you up a little bit, girlfriend. It's too much. Well, it is. You've just done a massive one and then you did another massive one. Calm your farm. Look at her trying to look all innocent. I'm not really mad at you, Charlie. I'm just frustrated because, like, you've just two massive big splatterings all over me. I looked nice today too. Oh. Well, anyway, you're lucky, Charlie. I've got no intentions of going anywhere until I go for the wild dance tonight. 6th of September. Having a bit of a dizzy spell now. By the gods. I was just saying how I'm not dizzy today and it just hit me out of the blue. Anyway, 6th of September 2018. Wow, Tante Lottie's spirit smiled upon me today. Jenny bought me a delicious lunch at Karina League's Club, and we were both blessed, meaning we both won some money, which was astonishing, as I rarely gamble. I still remember actually, we walked in there, I had to renew my card because I hadn't been there for years, and the young man kind of looked at me at the counter, said, "Have you not been here for a long time?" I said, "Oh no, I haven't been here for years, I have to renew my card." It cost like $2 or something. He gave me this very sweet smile, which I marked as very strange. And then while I had put $20 into the pokies, because at Jenny's suggestion actually, because she was playing the pokies, I said, "Oh yeah, I'll give it a go. I never win anything," I said to her, so we'll waste $20, but you know, it's not the end of the world, $20. Meh, I said. I won. They had some competition. It was odd. My machine must have come up, and then I was part of some weird competition, and I won $165, which is a lot of money to me. I was delighted. I was thrilled. And the same young man kind of came out, gave me a strange look. He went, "Oh," he said, "you're the lady that hasn't been here for a long time. I bet you've got a lovely surprise." I went, "Yes, I did." I wondered if it was rigged, actually. He was so lovely to me. I'm sure it wasn't, because you would have, you wouldn't rig things, you'd lose your job. But it was just so delightful. Anyway, then we went shopping at Carindale, and I bought this little bead that was on sale with my winnings, because I was so thrilled to have actually won something. And Jenny said, "Oh, shouldn't you put I bought this one as well." That's right, I bought two. It's gone all discoloured with age now. But she said, "Oh, shouldn't you put your money aside?" I said, "Why? I never win anything. Never. That's the time to buy yourself a treat, when you get something from the universe out of the blue landed in your lap." So I bought myself those two beads, and I was thrilled about it. Thanks for the outing, Jenny. Kiss. When Jenny dropped me home, I got a lovely, warm, feline greeting from Fergus, the black cat, from my neighbour across the road. I joked with Jenny, "If you ever doubt that I am a witch, or rather the descendant of one, look how the black cats find me." I picked him up and gave him a cuddle. He was delighted. Of course, Fergus Puss has an agenda for befriending me. He is after my chickens, and possibly Charlie too. Sneaky cat. So I put him back on the ground, and he scampered away. Black cats are good luck, you know. The gods are smiling upon us. Grateful, happy woman here. Oh, it was indeed a lucky day, even with the visit from the pussycat. Today is the birthday of my childhood benefactor, Lottie Jonas, my mother's best friend in Germany, who, after seeing me for the first time when we visited Hamburg when I was 8, showered us with lavish gifts for the rest of her life. Until my estrangement with Gisela, of course. My house still contains some of the crystal and china that she sent both my mother and myself over the decades. I'll show you, just as an example. This beautiful, exquisite, big blue Bohemian crystal plate, and this decanter, and this one, even the little label that says "Für dich," for you. I bought that little thing in a second-hand shop somewhere, but it lost its original. This one was worth a fortune, but little Talia put a massive chip in it, the little bastard. And this one, I mean, I loved Talia, but that kid was so dangerous and damaging. She would go through my house like a whirling dervish and open drawers and touch everything, had no boundaries. I think these ones weren't from Auntie Lottie. I think my mother bought those in New Zealand. But anyway, I have a house full of, this entire dinner set came from Auntie Lottie. All of those. So all these nice things, right? We lived very opulently, came from mostly Auntie Lottie. Now, I'm not 100% sure if Mum would also send her money to pay for things to be sent. That's possible as well. But by and large, the majority was gifted by Auntie Lottie. Well, that's what my mother was telling me anyway. So, there is that. The few men I brought home, peasants, lol, actually commented they felt like they were in Grandma's house. Yagan. That means, yeah, for sure. I have decluttered immensely since then, but my house still looks very European and grandmotherly. Yes, it does. Well, it's an old post-war cottage, so it's already an old house. And then it's got all these very European, exquisite things that most young people of the younger generation have no idea, no appreciation for it because they're peasants, basically, or they weren't raised with it, which I was. So to me, it's normal. But anyway, like any grandmother, I can transmute into a wolf and devour them. Ow, 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 ow! Here's another one. It was a glass that I actually broke and was devastated about. Can you see it? This one. I revamped it I wanted to turn it into a bell. You shit down my back now, Charlie. I'm all wet down my back. What's going on, Charlie? Shitting all over me. You'll have to go in your cage. This is getting too much even for me. My nerves are shattered. My nerves are shattered, Charlie girl. Come on. I think you will. I'm just going to put her in. I don't want to be shat on for the rest of this video. It's too much. Oh, it's just too much. I feel all wet down my back. Don't think I got it all either. Well, I just have to take the t-shirt off and get a new one later, won't I? By the gods. But sharpens my claws, shakes off the fleas languorously and elegantly. Who has the time? Crystal and Jared both tease me that my lovers would stay if I offered them Jack Daniels instead of tea. Oh, that's true. But I do have Jack Daniels now. Don't have any Coke, but I've got some Pepsi I could turn into Soda Stream. But no one comes to my home. They're all terrified of my inner wolf, my hungry wolf. Hungry like a wolf, am I right? Werewolves of London. I'm not actually that bad, but shh, don't tell them. Let them think I'm terrifying so I can watch them quiver in their jocks, running, going, my wife, my mortgage, my lifestyle, running out into the void so I can just fucking laugh at them. Sometimes it's very funny too. Very, very funny. Other times I think, oh, I really liked that one. Had to let that one go too. Oh, it is kind of tragicomic. Depends on my mood whether I'm laughing or crying, by the way. Say what, I said. Sex is not enough for the bloodless Kurds. They want more. My Jack Daniels too. The very cheek of it. The nerve of it. But it's all right. I've got Jack Daniels, I've got limoncello, and I've got a little bit left of spiced rum. But if you only want me for my offerings of alcohol soothing so you can stand to be in my aura for more than 5 minutes and wallow down in my sacred chakra for hopefully way longer than 5 minutes, because I had a 2-minute man before, I was married to it. But if you can stand my sexuality, I guess I can stand to give you a stiff drink to help you remain ever so slightly stiff. Need to be a bit more than slightly, darlings. We don't want the slight ones. We don't do things by halves. Just saying. Anyway, you can't take it seriously, my darlings. I'm speaking the truth, but I'm also kind of whimsically having a bit of a laugh as well. Because what else can you do when you've been celibate asexual for as long as I have? But laugh in the face of madness and human male's inability to measure up to the Tanya. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's how the gods created me after decades of trauma. And one day, the right man will come who can joyously and delightfully join with me and enjoy that and stick around for longer than a night. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. I'm so right. Oh, bless. Meanwhile, tonight we dance. Tonight we will dance again. And next week and the week after that. Maybe. One can never tell. Depends on how my health keeps holding up. The last one, after a long period of celibacy, took back his lemonade. I have... I shouldn't laugh, it's not funny. I have a vague feeling he would have stayed the night if I begged him, but I beg no man, and frankly, it was a weird experience. Yes, indeed it was. Very fucking weird. So I won't tell you because it's private, but it was so weird that I was getting a bit fucking triggered, to be honest. I was glad when he fucked off with my lemonade that he brought me $2 solo. So stingy, couldn't even leave me that much. Not a man worthy of the Tanya, just saying. So I have reset my celibacy clock again after 3 years, 4 months and 2 weeks. Then a little human error, insert semi-hysterical laughter here. It has now been over 3 months, try 9 years. Oh, I don't miss sex anyway. I miss love and passion and loyalty and romance and solid, reliable partnerships. But I've had a great few months dancing with my tribe, flowering in my vibe, and enjoying the company of good, kind, supportive, beautiful friends. I've had a good 12 months of that up until this moment in time. I've had a wonderful 12 months. So there is that. Thank you to my beautiful friends. Anyway, I have gallstones to dissipate or excise. It's hard to feel sexy when you're dragging a defunct meat carcass around, but when I am healed, oh well, look out. I will have energy and motivation again. So maybe Auntie Lottie and my mother are still cock-blocking me from beyond the grave. Maybe if I threw everything out and ran with the wolves, howling into the night, some worthy male might claim me for his own pack. But Mama T is alpha. Actually, I think I'm sigma, but never mind. And runs behind no other female interloper, as I am not inclined to come last for the rest of my life either. Today I inherited 6 years ago after that evil protracted abortion of a will dispute. I had that's worded strangely, that sentence, but you know what I mean. 6 years ago today, I inherited after that evil protracted abortion of a will dispute. Yeah, that sounds better. I have to go and fix that later. Fuck. I had a brief hiatus of having a bit of money, then back to grinding poverty, so of course no man would ever want me. I am okay with that. My home is my sacred space where I continue to heal from a life of torment, and no man, woman or child will ever drag me down again. Just saying. I could say the same thing all these years later. I have raised myself up on my haunches, even with a malfeasant gut, and danced and pranced into the night, and risen with the moon, and howled and licked my wounds, and kept loving the unworthy, unloving, unrequited one who by now has long forgotten me. And it hurts. It hurts. But I love my life now, and who I am, so broke and broken, bespoke or unspoken, lost and found, and hobbit tossed aside into the night in the sunshine of my days. I am content with what is gifted me in this insane and cruel, loveless world. The right person will adore me, and magic will happen. Of that I am certain. The Tanya is no prize, but she is a perfect repository of everything she ever needed inside her. From the comment section, Jenny. You should have come over while the scaffolders were here. Some were, palatable, lol. Me. Palatable? You know I have an unnatural relationship with roof tilers. They came in steady, quick succession for several months until Housing Commission put a new roof on my house. It was like the energy of my roof needing replacing attracted them like flies to a rotting carcass. It was rather weird. The roof is on fire. Mama T, not so much. I think my libido is just smoke and ashes, baby. Done with being used by feckless boys. Need a real man, a single monogamous one at that, laughing my ass off. What year was this, babies? Which year was this? Let's quickly scroll back. I'm feeling excited with the anticipation of it all. Oh, the frisson. Oh, the excitement. And yet, bupkis. I think it was 2019. Yes, it was. 2019. Oh, Tanya. No, I tell a lie. It was 2018. Oh, Tanya, 6 fucking years, still haven't manifested the one. Well, I won't cry, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, does it, babies? Oh, and no using, cheating, bloodless curs need apply for top spot in my boudoir. I can't afford $30 for ecstatic dance cacao ceremony on Friday, but I might rattle my dags and put in an appearance at the old stomping ground if I feel well enough, that is. By that I meant the live wire bar at the Treasury Casino, which exists no more. No more. We finally stomped that run right down into the ground, did we not? Motherfuckers. Here she is. I don't know. Looking kind of happy, I guess. 2018. Miss Penny enjoying some scratches. Oh, how I miss Miss Penny. She was a wonderful friend and soulmate. Absolutely adored her. September 6th, 2017. I went out to buy food. Dear Goddess, it's never a good thing. I spent $50 on stuff that seemed appropriate at the time. There was even ice cream. But when I got home, my level of giving a fuck about cooking a healthy beef stir fry bottomed out of me like a sanguine zombie death wish. So I sat on the couch and devoured a packet of sweet chili chippies instead, because I can, that's why. I'm going back to the skin clinic tomorrow afternoon to have a hematoma removed from my forehead and the results of my biopsies from my left shoulder blade. My skin has broken out in pimples even though I've been eating healthy since yesterday. I had to wash it with Isocol to dampen down the blemishes before the good doctor sees the calibre of the skin on my face tomorrow. Embarrassing. 52 years old and a walking pimple. Blech. I also had a weird phone call from my lawnmower man who tried to upsell me by mowing tomorrow, even though I had already texted him to tell him mowing was due next week after I get paid. He called me a knob and a weirdo, so I told him he was titillated and confabulating from working in the Queensland heat too long, and he needed a nice cold drink of water and a cold shower. He laughed. So that was awkward and weird. I got the feeling he just wanted to hear my voice and wind me up, but he got the wind up instead. Men, seriously, what the actual fuck? Anyway, he rang just when I was feeling so depressed I could cut my ear off and post it to an ex, but I lack the talent along with the chutzpah. So that nutty conversation actually made me laugh at the surreal, absurdist reality show that is the life of the Tanya. So, ironically, because I am a contrary little berserker, I felt slightly better, watched a horror movie, then went out into the cool of the evening to buy food. Thanks for the Jack Daniel's Sunday motivation, Jared. I have the ice cream. Just need the money for a bottle of JD. And if you are going to imbibe also, we'll need to buy some gluten-free ice cream. My spirits revived themselves enough to face the supermarket where I got to see the gorgeous Terry. So my day has improved vastly since this afternoon. I'm trying not to laugh. Here's why. The phone conversation with Clary, my former lawnmower man, who I had to fire because he was getting far too lascivious and wasn't taking no for an answer, and he was really starting to piss me off. Good-looking fellow and all. It's not about his looks. It was about his constant harassment that got on my nerves. But anyway, here we go. The phone conversation with Clary started like this. Me, calm, monotone. Hello. Clary, hi, it's me. Me, raising monotone by one tiny decibel. Hello, how are you? Clary, don't you have me programmed into your phone? Like, don't you know it was me? Giggling insanely. Fuck, man. Fuck me. I can't tolerate that level of bullshit. But anyway, me. Yeah, I do have you programmed, mate. I knew it was you. But does anyone really know anyone ever? Really? I mean, really? But then it devolved into him trying to come mo to Moz and random ambiguous flirting, so I cold showered his ass. He seems to like me. Should I worry? Laughing my ass off. He was probably the one that I probably would have, if I was going to marry anyone, have cohabited with, or God's forfend, even married. But he creeped me the fuck out. Every fucking time he came to Mo, which in summer is every 2 weeks, he would creep me the fuck out. I just couldn't go there with him. Jenny even said to me, what's wrong with you, Tanya? He's fucking sexy. I'd fuck him. I said, Jenny, there he is, out in the back garden, roaming wild with all his pheromones and testosterone and his right-on mullet. He had a machine like the council guys. I think it must have pressed on his ball sack or something because he was always horny. He'd get off that machine and he'd be like, he would literally look at me like that. And I would be like, oh dear God, just cut the grass and go. Jenny goes, I'd be happy for him to cut my grass, Tanya. I'd be like, Jenny had a partner at home, a very nice man who I very much liked, very kind soul to me. I went, Jenny, I know nothing. If you're going to screw around on Brendan, I know nothing. I don't want to know. I don't want any part of that. You happen to have a lovely man at home who I really like and respect. But if you're going to send your vagina out flapping around in the breeze for any man that's a bit sexy and says hello, that's on you, Jenny, my girl. I shoved her out my back door. I shut the door on her and I went back into the kitchen. I think she was just winding me up though. She's like, oh, but he is so lovely, Tanya, and he's mad for you. I said, of course he's mad for me, Jenny. He's fucking mad. So finally, even Clary says to me, eventually, took him quite some couple of years actually, I put up with this shit. Why don't you want me? I'm a good-looking man, and I'm mad for you. There's the rub, isn't it? The madness. He was a psychic like me, actually. He was a medium. He used to do overheads in spiritual churches. Tell me about how all the women just stand there and look at him in awe. Oh, well, I'll never look at you that way, Clary. You won't get me in your church either. What do you mean? I'm a really good reader. I said, I'm sure you are. Very good reader. Fucking cold reader. Cold reading all those lonely, desperate ladies. He laughed. He had to laugh. He goes, you're such a bitch, Tanya. I went, I know. Such a bitch. It's because he was triggering me all the time with his lascivious, and he was Aussie, but he had German ancestry. One day he told me his name. I went, oh, for fuck's sake. On top of it, you're a kraut. He says, why are you discriminating against me being German? I said, because I had a German mother and she is the way I am today. It's not your fault. I don't hold it against you being German. He says, what do you hold against me then? I said, that you never quit trying to fucking seduce me. It's getting boring. I feel like Penelope unraveling all the wonderful weavings and weaving them again each day, trying to flick them all off. And then finally I find someone that I'm in love with that I don't want to flick off, and it's another bullshit, unrequited bullshit torture, isn't it? So I can't win. I can't fucking win, babies. I got very triggered when I went to the gig at Fitzy's because Clary lives in Waterford West. So, oh dear God, if that man should walk into that hotel while I'm dancing my wild dance for my handsome, talented men, alter egos, it's going to be weird on so many fucking levels. And then instead of Clary walking in to weird me out, some other weird fucking guy grabbed me and triggered me. So there was that. But anyway, look, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life, people of Earth, because it's the only way I can stay safe and relatively sane. Just saying. But you have to laugh. You do have to laugh at that whole conversation. Don't you have me programmed in your phone? Oh, but then he got cheeky because he knew he was programmed into my phone for the fucking lawn mowing. I get a phone call on another occasion, and hi Tanya, it was a Saturday. I said, why are you calling me on a Saturday, Clary? Well, yeah, I want to talk about the lawn mowing, because he had to have a legit reason to call me, right? Otherwise I would have just gone bing with the phone. I went, yeah, what's happening with the lawn mowing? Yeah, I'm thinking I'm coming on Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's fine. And I could hear all these men kind of laughing and chortling in the background, sounds of glasses tinkling. I said, where are you, Clary? He says, oh, I'm down the pub at Waterford West. It wasn't Fitzy's, I think it was the other pub. I said, oh, are you now? He says, yeah, I'm ringing you. Why I'm ringing you is because I was thinking, you can hear the anxiety in his voice, knowing he's pushing the boundaries. Cheeky bastard. He says, I was thinking, he says, you might come over and have a drink with me and the boys. You and how many boys? I said. Oh, there's only about 3 or 4 of us. I could hear them all. I tell you what, that man treated me as if I was some kind of dominatrix whipping him into line. It was sick, fucking, perverted, evil shit. Right? I hate that shit. I hate that. I'm very good at it and I'm a natural, but I actually hate that shit. It was like, why would I want to do that? Degrading people so they can get all frotted and turned on. This is everyone in my YouTube audience now, all 98 of you going, you are a natural, Tanya. You've missed your calling. I know it's fucked, isn't it, while I live in poverty, trying to get my true lover man to love me. It's really fucked. I know it's fucked. 25 years of therapy says it's fucked. Did I mention it's completely fucked? But anyway, so I hear these men. And I said, who's with you, Clary? Oh, just me and my mates. Come down, have a drink with us. I said, I'm not fucking driving half an hour, 30 minutes, 40 minutes if it's busy, to go and have a drink with you on the spur of the moment because you want to show off for your mates. Oh, Tanya, you know I love you, I want you, you know I really want you. I went, look, come on, stop being a simp, you're embarrassing me now. Clunk goes the phone. Well, it would go clunk if it was the old-fashioned style. Clunk, the old-fashioned rotary phones we had as children. Oh, they were great. Hanging up on a boy or a man in those days was Kismet, smash would go to the phone. Now it's just beep, beep. Hardly has the same impetus. But anyway, Clary, wherever you are, you dumb motherfucker, you're still fired. Don't ever come near me again for the rest of eternity. But anyway, I guess if I was really wanting to rethink that situation, I could go down the pub at Waterford West, hang around with the boys, am I right? I'm too much man for them. I'm too much man for them. I've had to be my own man, woman and child integrated into my psyche. They wouldn't be able to handle it. They really wouldn't, by the gods. It was bad enough when I went to go to a gig that I didn't know was a private function, so that was fucking awkward. And I talked my way through the front door. This was on the night of the fucking Broncos match. Wall-to-wall men and a few women, all in Broncos t-shirts. Fuck, that was an adventure that evening. I fight my way in, and then I had some man going, how'd you get in? Can I follow you? I went, why are you following me? Because you seem to know your way about this place. I've never been in this hotel in my life. She wasn't strictly true. I'd been there years ago when it was the LA hotel and my daughter had a karaoke competition or some singing competition there. But I actually didn't remember any of the layout. It was all very confronting, and I'm not good in new venues I haven't been to before. It's triggering for me. And then it was back to the girls with hot, heavy football men all roided up on testosterone, all excited about the football. And some dude follows me. He says, where you going? I said, I'm going to the band. He said, oh, where's the band? I can hear the music. It sounds good. I said, of course it's good music. It's my favourite fucking band. It's why I'm here. I've had to fight to get into this venue. He's like, yeah, I saw you do it, lady. He said, you're impressive. I went, he said, how'd you do it? I said, I'm friends with the band. But, however, I did not violate that boundary. I got in, saw it was a private function, walked in, stood at the door, saw all the platters of food and thought, no, I'm not meant to be here. This is awkward. So waved. I don't think he saw me because he was in his zone, you know. Waved to my friend, waved and turned around and went back out. And the guy that followed me said, why have you come back out? I said, private function. I didn't know it was going to be a private function. He said, but you've got this far, you might as well keep going. I said, no, I do not go where I'm not specifically welcome or invited. I said, it's a rule of mine. I said, I could push myself and pretend I was part of it. I said, but one does not behave that way. It's fucking crass. He said, but you went all this way. I went, yep, it's crass. I'm drawing the line on the sand now. Time to go. Anyway, that dude followed me a little bit further. He was quite keen, I could see. Finally, I just turned and looked at him, said, stop following me, dude. He was like, okay, love. He was a bit in love, that guy. It was a bit weird. It was a bit odd, but strange. Anyway, it wasn't a total waste that evening, although I'd had a lot of struggles to get there with parking and had to walk fucking 45 minutes from the other end of Paddington to be out of the parking limitations. Oh, dear goddess, that was a fucking day. The things you do to be with your wonderful bands that you love, am I right? Jesus. Anyway, little do they know. So anyway, I come out, it's still crowds of people. All the nightclubs up Paddington were packed to the gills and everyone's rejoicing, and I'm all on my own feeling stupid for just fucking, well, it's just my own, just one of those things. So anyway, I wasn't angry with anyone. It's just annoying that I didn't realise that it was a private function, because then I wouldn't have gone in the first instance. But anyway, so we get there, I get out of there, I get away from the crazy stalker guy that was enamored of me. Bought myself a Jack Daniels, I drank it, I went to the loo, came out, left that hotel. And what do they call it now? Prince Albert or Royal Albert or something hotel. Anyway, same shit, different day, people of Earth. So I came out, fought my way through all the crowds again, back past the police officer who had actually asked about, because initially I'd illegally parked and was worried about it. He said, yeah, don't do that, love. He said, I won't fine you, but the BCC will. It was almost like a precursor, how I got slammed with that BCC fine only a month or two later. It was evil what they did to me, the bastards. So anyway, I had moved my car and I parked way out of the confines, which meant a long walk to that hotel and then a long walk back. Somehow the walk back didn't seem as bad, maybe because I was in a different headspace. I decided, well, Tanya, you royally fucked up today, so you're just going to have to enjoy your evening now. It was cooling down. It was by then evening. The sun was down and it was a bit cool. I went past the friendly policeman. I nodded to him. He nodded back. He was a lovely man, that cop. Don't normally like cops, but he was a nice man. I'm wearing my bikie jacket, of course, looking all alternative and, wild. And then I stopped into a Indian restaurant and they freaked out when I walked in with my bikie jacket. Very elitist they were. Are you planning to eat in? They said. Pissed me off so much. I said, yes. I would have been happy with a takeaway. But don't treat me like I'm a leper, you motherfuckers. Based on wearing a bikie jacket. It was cold. It was winter. So anyway, I sat down, had a meal, watched this elitist family opposite me constantly stare at me and squirming with shock and horror. Finally, the wife stands up as they're preparing to leave. She says something along, how did she put it? It was so fucked up and weird. Not why are you looking at me? How did she put it? Words to that effect. Oh, am I in your way? She said, meaning, why are you looking at me? I wasn't even looking at them the whole time. I was eating my fucking meal on my own, as I always do, right? Because I'm a single woman. Like, what is their problem? The othering and the viciousness. Threatened by a single woman eating a meal on her own, which I was paying for, an expensive meal, more than I normally pay, by the way. They were threatened by that with my bikie jacket, which I had slung over the back of the chair anyway. Oh, the othering and the snobbery. Oh, they were vile. Anyway, so I just smiled sweetly and I said, no, darling, of course you're not in my way. Smiling sweetly with a voice that could cut concrete. Said, I'm just admiring you all putting on your winter coats in preparation to beat the climate as you step outside into a cold winter's night. She just glared at me like I'd said something insulting. Stupid fucking bitch. Anyway, her daughter sort of looked at me and nodded. Could see I was actually trying to be kind in the face of their snobbery. Anyway, and then the weird thing was I finally make it after finishing my meal and paying, getting to my car. And then I had so much trouble getting out of Paddington and Milton because the football was, I don't know if it was still on or what the deal was, but there was all these roads rerouted and there was so much stress. I actually got on my mobile, on speakerphone, talked to my friend Lynn. I said, Lynn, you've got to talk me down getting out of this joint. I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. This has been one of the weirdest evenings of my life. So I told her, what happened and the meal. She said, at least you got to have a nice meal, Tanya. I said it was a very nice meal. Mango chicken with coconut rice, really deliciously prepared coconut rice with shredded coconut, really yummy. So the meal was lovely, but the people treated me like I was some kind of alien that had just arrived from outer space based on the fact I had a leather bikie jacket on. I said, the fucking Egypts. Lynn said, oh, well, never mind. At least you got to have a nice meal and something nice came out of that weird adventure. If I played my cards right, I could have gone off with that mad man that kept following me everywhere. Where are you going, love? Where's the music? Are you going for the music? Of course I am, I said. I'm always chasing the music. I'm part fairy after all, really. Daughter of the gods. Anyway, tonight I'll be chasing the music again, as I do. The dance must continue. Here I wrote, there are many days I wanted to die. Those days still slam me with monotonous regularity. Oh, look, I didn't even get all the shit out of my skirt. Look, I have to put it in the washing machine. Oh, she's a bad bird. But I know I've been massively triggered by the global threat of nuclear annihilation. It is a ploy, a game played by the elite. What better way to cull the population than to use fear of atrocities on the global scale to drive the already broken and traumatised to suicide? Now bear in mind, this was written in, where were we? 2017. 3 years before the you-know-what atrocity happened. So Mama T is like the fucking canary down the mine, already premonitioning it. Those humans like me who have literally fought all their lives for a place of safety, sanity, and try to generate whatever happiness we can are easily thrown into despair and desolation. We almost died so many times at the hands of our personal, monstrous hench men and women. So the thought of two retarded, tyrannical, tantrum-tossing totalitarians playing with nukes sends me a tad hysterical. Why? It is not by choice. It is not under my control. It is the pernicious, cruel reminder that our lives are not valued, precious, or protected. That at any moment some dark, evil force clothed in an orange toupee or a moon-faced megalomaniac can take all our lives and the life of this planet away in a split second. Irrevocably deny the universe its little playground of pleasure. No wonder there are frantic missives from outer space. We are all interconnected by hopes, by dreams, by passions, by love, by sunshine on our face, by the capricious yet eternal gift of the gods, by life. I must believe in the ultimate goodness of the ordinary mortals and the ability of the extraordinary to walk among us and slap us down when we get too annihilationist. Nihilist? Nil carborundum et bastatos. They mistake our fear and grief and trauma for weakness. Yes, they do. Big fucking mistake, by the way. But we are alive today because we were able to dig deep into our own souls, scratching and bleeding, torn and debased, desecrated bodies and minds, to regenerate ourselves. Each and every time we bounced back, beautiful, fierce and free. Fuck the haters. We got each other, survivors to thrivers. Have a nice day. Later I wrote, restless, anticipatory, lost, frustrated, irked, waiting for Godot, existing, thinking, therefore I was, am, and ever will be, transmuting old trauma flashbacks. It is windy, a dry, hot wind on an early spring day, weird and unwelcome, like me. I want to go out, but lack enough money. I want to go back to bed, but have slept enough. I'm stuck in a torpid limbo of my own emotions and ignoble reality. My back hurts. So tired of chronic pain. And my teeth hurt. Don't mention the fucking teeth. We already mentioned them this morning. And that is for sure as eggs can be, skirting that drain and asking for trouble. And still I chew and cut my way through life on the cuspid side. Cuspid, not Cupid, stupid. Okay, that was me being a wry, wrinkled old dame. No, you are not stupid, neither am I, for believing in the phantasmagorical, delightful ideals of love. That is how I am alive today, chasing the psychedelic Cheshire cats vanishing like a mirage dream. My first love, my childhood friend, used to sneak out the back door to escape me. I used to cry for hours at the abandonment and rejection, but was suckled and savoured and mollified by her mother and her amazing, badly pronounced by my toothless 6-year-old's diction, merengues. Sweet and soothing, they disappeared fast on my old sweet-toothed child's tongue, like magic. True loves are eternal. Memories are kept precious and stored away, ever fresh to be trotted out on dark days of discontent and discontinuance. One day I shall remember nothing, neither the good, the bad, nor the gloriously triumphant. My molten, sugary dreams will be as dust, 0 calories, but fulminating with all the DNA molecules and dander of all that ever lived on this planet. How will oblivion taste to my embattled, exhausted soul? Like ambrosia? Chocolate? Is there chocolate in heaven? I suspect not. The gods brought it to earth to stimulate our taste buds, to offer us a panacea of delight amidst dereliction. Thank you, gods, for all you have gifted me in abundance. The love, the laughter, the purity amidst the dross insanity. The true friends as a solace to compensate for my lack of maintaining a true, loving partnership, as those bastards just wanted me dead. Sad but true. I wonder what it'd be like to be in love with a man who for once doesn't want me dead, but wants me fully vibrant and alive, and apart from the regular petty mores that are mutually consensually agreed upon, wants me to have the best in life and bring me the best of himself and gift me his true heart, mind, body, spirit, soul. A truly loving, good, kind, noble, worthy man, worthy of the love of the Tanya. I wonder what that would feel like. Oh. Without my true loving friends upholding me and keeping me precious, where would I be? Indeed, we must not forget the true loving friendships. Burning on my Viking boat funeral, or 6 feet under with the rest of my people whom I chose so faithfully at the Mount Gravatt Cemetery. I doubt I'll get a Jewish funeral. They're $11,000 fucking dollars minimum, like bejesus. And anyway, I'm both Viking and witch and Jew now. They'll just shuffle me off to the edge of the cemetery if I even make it that far, am I right? I'll settle for being smoke and ashes poured over the cliff at the lighthouse at Byron Bay, the closest to New Zealand I can get, and in my most sacred, most beloved place of all, Byron Bay. I think that will be good enough for me. I'll have to put it in writing, make sure it happens. Ugh, I don't want to lie next to those traitors and putrid slanderers. No, I do not. That's why I'm going to settle for Byron Bay, I think. No traitors or slanderers there to my knowledge. Nay, I think I better start carving that boat or settle for a quickie cremation. Then I can be ash as well as dust. Let me have my dream of living in Byron Bay by casting me over the cliffs at the lighthouse. See, that's my intentions. Anyway, that time is not too distant, or so I thought. But I can wait a little bit longer. More loves to dissipate on my tongue like the sugary ghosts. My tongue's looking healthier these days. Maybe the CPAP's working. Like the sugary ghosts they were and or are. Run. Or maybe it was the B12. Could be. Run. Keep running. Used to look like a white dead thing in my mouth. It was embarrassing. How can I passionately tongue kiss a man with a dead thing in my mouth? Put me off. It put me off too, even though I did from time entertain the thought, oh, you can't be putting that in someone's mouth. It's not healthy. But now I'm coming back to health, babies. But no, I only French kiss a man I'm deeply in love with, not those slathering slugs that used to frequent the Treasury Casino. Oh my God. Salivating, slathering, sluttish slugs. They used to make me vomit in my mouth. Every time they'd be slathering some man's tonsils. The men loved it, of course. They told me, they said, why are you being so mean? We love it. And I went, you don't know where that fucking tongue's been. It's just slathered every man in this room. Don't you have any sense of personal hygiene? They just laughed at me, of course. Then COVID came. COVID. Almost a great gift in some ways. But anyway, I haven't passionately kissed a man in many, many years because I find that just, well, an intimacy that is reserved for one that I love. Run, keep running. These men can only run from their false selves. I have seen and heard, and I acknowledge their painful inability to love me as I am. Kismet. Their pain became mine, but I will heal, and they are damned to go on to fuck and fight and use and abuse while I sublimely smile my enigmatic smile from my lowly, lonely debasement on a pedestal high in the sky while eating pie, spelt pie, 3.14 repeating. Bring me my lovers, and I will show you the cut of their cloth and the measure of their manhood. You have to laugh, don't you? And we shall try ever so politely not to laugh until we die by crying. Can go either way, babies. Seriously. Humans are such fickle feats of futility, but sweet and quaint and sometimes quirky. May the gods love us as we are, perfectly imperfect, by such amusement, bemusement, and confoundment. Amen. Indeed. Masters of Horror, a very trippy TV show. And then I commented on an article. This man called 911 after blacking out from cough syrup and allegedly stabbing his wife to death. Cough syrup? Really? But anyway, any excuse for the demonic, am I right? However, I wrote, people have murdered their spouses while taking Zoloft. I got off that shit real quick and changed to another antidepressant when I discovered that years ago. So glad to finally be free of all psych medications. They did nothing to cure my complex PTSD, but kept me in a state of numbness and illness for far too long. Now I feel all the feels, which can be laborious at times. And it is often extremely painful and confronting, but I also experience the bliss and the healing as well. Integrating my mind, body and spirit after decades of relentless, often concurrent trauma took time to heal. I will probably be healing for the rest of my life. New skin cells, oxygen saturation, mind regeneration. But it is worth it to be fully alive and comfortable in my own skin. Yes, it is, my darlings. Yes, it is. That was back in 2017, by the way. 6th of September 2016. Utterly exhausted. I spent most of the day repotting my water lilies, which reminds me they need repotting again. Not sure if the night flowering one is dead or not, but tried again. Too tired to go out and buy fish food and water lily fertilizer. I will have to do it tomorrow. I went under the house to get straw for the chooks, only to discover the big, beautiful Duchess mirror that Annette gave me had slipped down and shattered. Bugger, 7 years bad luck. Oh, bejesus. It will be expensive to replace too. I think it is time for a nap. Tarina wrote, or is it an opportunity to recycle and reinvent what you use the shards for, of the endless possibilities, kiss, kiss. Louise wrote, you did too much in one day. T is right, and if anyone can do something with that mirror, you can. What rubbish that stupid superstition is. I chucked the shards out, not keen on broken mirrors about the place. I really am very superstitious, people of Earth. I really am. It's quite weird. Tarina wrote, was thinking a mural near the fish pond, which would have looked lovely actually. She's right. A piece about putting broken pieces back together and creating something new. I reckon this would have been your area of expertise. As for the superstition, technically I did not break the mirror. It fell down on its own, so not feeling quite so bad. Might be possums that did it, or the things that hold the edges of the mirror in places had rusted out. Never mind, just a bit disappointing, but life goes on. Tarina wrote, that wasn't the point. It was about creating something new from the shattered pieces. Your whole life. Yes, she was onto something there, wasn't she? I have created a whole new life. When the guy delivered it, he knocked down a box of odd glassware. So now there is so much broken glass under the house. I will have to get under there perhaps when I move to the cupboard upstairs and vacuum it all up. T wrote, be careful, kiss, kiss. I wrote, I'm always in a process of recreation. I am that I am, or whom I am becoming. Oh, dear goddess. And Tarina showed me this lovely mural made of mirrors, 2 photos of them. I summoned enough energy to go down to Annerley Aquarium to buy some splosh for my big pond, also some fish food. The man charged a lot for bulk fish food, so I just got a small amount. I also bought fish and chips and shared some with my Bobo. He was happy with that, as he hates going in the car. Tarina, still obsessing about broken mirrors and mosaics, said, oh my God, I'm sold. I just realised I still need to buy water lily fertiliser, damn it. 6th of September 2014. Yesterday a woman and her little daughter came past my house as I was potting up plants. They called out to me annoyingly as I had the hose sprinkling and was on my tiny front porch. They asked about my chickens. I could not hear well, so I went to the front gate and chatted with them. They are new to our street, clearly sussing me out. She proceeded to tell me about her neighbour, an elderly woman who had terminal cancer and lived alone with her son. She said the old lady had been rushed to hospital by ambulance, but refused to be put on a gurney and walked to the ambulance. At the hospital they told her she was dying and she was going to be put in palliative care and in a week or 2 be placed in a nursing home. Sometime during the first week she told the staff, I will sleep well tonight, and she died during the night. This young woman tells me she willed herself to die, too afraid of losing her home and independence. That is how determined she was, and gave me a rather strange look. I told her, nonsense, her time had come, and she had made peace with that. Our bodies fight to live, no matter what. I know all about praying for death and then it not coming. I am so glad to be alive and living free as much as possible. So another motherfucker who I didn't even know coming past trying to point the bone at me, am I right? And what was my answer? That our bodies fight to live no matter what. And that, my friends, is true. So whenever you get a demonic imp like that one, or like Richie at the casino, telling you that you stink of death and of cancer, just deflect the motherfuckers. They really are hell-ridden. And you choose as much as possible the length of your days on earth, as much as any demon or God. Just saying. I'm living proof of it. Don't listen to other people's evil or negativity. Rise and shine, babies. Always and forever, rise and shine. When our day comes, our day comes. And then you will reach acceptance and acquiescence. At the appointed time, not a moment before and not a moment after. I got up at 4 p.m. I went to the laundry to get fish food out. On the doorknob sat a very exhausted bee. I coaxed him on my finger and gave him a drink of water. I then put some sugary water in the dog bowl with a rock in it for other bees to have a place to rest and get an energy boost. Springtime is hard work for bees, especially in our hotter climate. I've rediscovered that I prefer the company of animals in my home to humans, less stressful, and they contribute so much joy and serenity. I will be an old lady, all wizened and wise, and all alone in my crondom. 10 years later, here she is, babies. Should Hashem decree I live that long, I often think of old Mrs. Walker, my ancient neighbour, alone in her fisherman's cottage, which my mother bought when she died. It was so Spartan, and she was so very isolated. Now I think she chose to live like that, a Scottish old boiler who never relinquished her independence and more than likely felt safer that way. Ave, Effie, I take my hat off to ye. I must have imprinted on you as a tiny tot, as you and I share the same destiny. 6:10 a.m. Going to sleep soon. I had a great night at the Elephant, dancing with Burst. I love you guys. You are such wonderful musicians. Yes, they are. Andy, Woody and Dale. Yes, you are. And such genuine, kind souls as well. I am proud to know such wonderful young men and love supporting your, they're not so young anymore, 10 years on, and love supporting your band with my wild dervishes and hoops. I was also honoured to be showered with such affection with Sam, Kate, Shona, Jodie and Scotty when they came along, and joined in the awesomeness with me and Karen. I really feel loved and valued. Isn't it a shame that that space went so rancid in February 2015? I've never gone back to Irish Murphy since that time. But nothing against Burst. You know, they are a wonderful band. It was really lovely to be at a venue where I'm not being jostled, attacked, and having to be Xena warrior Viking queen direct from Valhalla all night. It is always more fun when you know security has your back, as they are paid to do. So kudos to the security at the Elephant also. I've had a long hot bath to ease my arthritic tootsies which spasm in pain from dancing in high heels. Sexy, but ouchies. I've had a lovely chat to friends on Paltalk. I've let my chooks out to spend the day scratching in the garden. So now it's good morning, Boker Tov, and good night, Lila Tov, from me. Kiss, 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 kiss. Home from a good night out at Greenbank RSL. It was Laurie's birthday and we all rocked out to the In Excess tribute band. Gail and I caught up with some old faces and exercised our karmic wit. It was hilarious. 6th of September 2012. Today was my very generous childhood benefactor's birthday. Cheers, Lottie Jonas. Your day brought me luck. My settlement from that awful wool dispute. Now my new life begins, finally free of my mother and her henchmen. I am free at last. Thank Hashem. Free at last. 6th of September 2011. Money came in today and went straight out on bills and food. Just buying basic food like meat and vegetables and necessaries cost $130 today. So I'm kind of freaking out, but at least I'll have food for the next 2 weeks. Just no money to go out with. Oh well, it was getting scary in my fridge, which was getting very empty. Apart from that, I had a nice day with Gail, who took me shopping at Aldi so I could save money, and we had lunch together. Necessities. Don't you just love how I reinvent English, then wonder why no one else knows what I'm talking about? Laughing out loud. Copyright Tanya Desiree Aarons, and thus concludes today's readings of Even Date. And I'm in a hurry because I've missed a call from my friend Robin Lawson, who wants to catch up with me today, I hope. So, I bid you all adieu. Have a wonderful day, night, evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the space-time continuum. And off we go on to the next adventure, my beautiful, brave, beloved ones and my YouTube subscribers. God's bless you all. Bye for now.